Once upon a Liverpool street, two sisters named Maria and Gladys Davies made a daring decision. They saved every penny from their clerical jobs to see their idol, Elvis Presley, perform live. Their admiration for the king of rock and roll was so strong that they made 3 trips to Vegas, watching 36 shows. To them, it wasn't just about the music, it was buying happiness. Elvis was known for his unique style and energy on stage. He would kiss fans and throw around 30 scarves per show, a sight that left fans breathless. Maria, one of the sisters, described buying merchandise as investing in happiness. Once, she boldly approached Elvis during a show. Holding his scarf, she asked, "Elvis, what's on your belt?" Elvis, caught off guard, grinned mischievously and leaned in close, saying, "You got a lot of nerve there, baby." The room burst into laughter, showing how Elvis connected with his audience in a personal way. Elvis wasn't just about dazzling his fans, he also faced challenges. His time in Vegas took a toll on his voice, a problem known as Las Vegas throat. This was due in part to the dry heat and constant air conditioning, which wasn't kind to singers' voices. Even rock legends like Frank Sinatra and Tom Jones struggled, though Jones used steam machines to help his voice. After his Vegas run, RCA Records captured Elvis's final performances in an album titled On Stage, February 1970. Released in June, this album was unique because Elvis's name only appeared on the spine, a marketing move that created buzz. The album featured 10 brand new songs, a strategy to keep Elvis's recordings fresh and to save on studio costs by having the band play live with him. The album started with a high-energy rendition of C.C. Rider, a blues song Elvis sped up, paying homage to Chuck Willis's slower, female vocal version. Another standout was Release Me, which showed Elvis's R&B roots. His take on Let It Be Me, originally a French song, was also praised, demonstrating how Elvis could breathe new life into familiar tunes. Despite some tracks feeling familiar, like the less successful Sweet Caroline, Elvis's performance added a unique twist. He connected deeply with the songs and the audience, encouraging musicians to play with passion. Even when singing songs not originally his, like Yesterday, Elvis's presence made the audience clap along, showing his charisma transcended the lyrics. The album featured memorable moments, like Elvis's playful comments and encouragement to the musicians. For instance, he'd shout, "Play it hard now" or "Take it home," creating an electric atmosphere. The Wonder of You, originally written for Perry Como, became a hit when Elvis performed it. The song's powerful arrangement, backed by a full orchestra and vocal groups, showcased Elvis's incredible vocal range. Glenn D. Hardin, Elvis's pianist, spoke fondly of working with the star. He recalled how Elvis would suddenly choose old songs, and within days, Hardin would craft arrangements that Elvis could easily master. The Wonder of You was one such song, transformed into a powerful ballad with an orchestra and vocal quartets, highlighting Elvis's ability to elevate any tune. The sisters' pilgrimage to see Elvis was more than just a concert, it was a testament to his influence and the magic he created. For fans like Maria and Gladys, it was about capturing a piece of happiness, a moment with their hero that would last a lifetime. Elvis Presley, through his music and antics, left an indelible mark, proving that sometimes it's not just about the music, but the experience and connection it creates. Elvis Presley's song Polk Salad Annie tells a story that may surprise some people. When asked, Tony Joe White explained that the phrase "razor-toed woman" meant she carried a razor for protection. Back in the old days in Louisiana, some women kept small razors in their purses for safety. It's interesting to think about how music reflects the lives of people from different times and places. Elvis and Tony Joe White had a special connection to this song. Tony Joe first wrote and recorded it back in 1969. However, it wasn't released as a single until 1973, and that was in the UK, not the US. Elvis had a unique way of making this song his own every time he performed it. Once, when asked about the meaning behind the song, Elvis said it felt like he wrote it himself, saying he could take it anywhere he wanted. As Elvis started performing again, a big promoter named Jerry Weintraub wanted to showcase him across America. To do this, he needed money fast. Jerry managed to secure the funds, surprising everyone when it was later found out that a well-known figure, Danny Kaye, was the one who invested the money. This clever move paid off handsomely. After a successful run in Vegas, Elvis took on 6 sold-out shows at the Astrodome in Houston. The first show had some technical difficulties, but once those were fixed, the concerts were a huge hit, drawing over 40,000 fans each night. Sid Bernstein, a music promoter, worked closely with Elvis and shared his thoughts on Colonel Parker, Elvis's manager. At first, Sid didn't like Parker because of his strong personality. However, he later came to see how vital Parker was to Elvis's career. Parker was like a guardian, helping Elvis through tough times and ensuring his success. Meanwhile, another musician, Phil Ochs, was struggling. Though he had some success with songs like There But For Fortune, he wanted more recognition compared to artists like Bob Dylan. Phil was feeling the pressure, especially after seeing Elvis in Vegas. Inspired yet frustrated, Phil decided to stage an ambitious concert at Carnegie Hall, combining political messages with his music. He planned to team up Elvis with the image of Che Guevara, hoping to make a bold statement against the Vietnam War. Phil's idea was bold but met with resistance. His brother Michael, who managed him, was unsure about the plan. Phil wore an extravagant gold lame suit to the concert, which only added to the controversy. The event was chaotic, filled with heckling from the audience, and ended with Phil making a poignant but failed attempt to connect his act with real change. Despite its failure, Phil's concert was a testament to his passion and creativity. Tragically, Phil took his own life a few years later, leaving behind a legacy of powerful yet underappreciated music. During this time, Elvis was busy creating music. He spent time in his limo, listening to new song ideas. In June, he went back to the studio in Nashville with his longtime collaborator, Felton Jarvis. The sessions were fruitful, producing over 30 songs. Many of these tracks would end up on his upcoming albums, including That's the Way It Is and Elvis Country, showcasing his versatility and ongoing creativity in the music world. These sessions marked a period of intense creativity for Elvis, demonstrating his ability to adapt and produce music that resonated with a wide audience. His work during this time would continue to influence music for years to come. That's the Way It Is was a unique album, released at the same time as Elvis' concert movie of the same name, but it was quite different. This album was special because it was split across 8 CDs, which was a big deal back then. It wasn't just a simple collection of songs. It had a special touch, like when you mix different flavors of ice cream to make something new. One interesting thing about this album is how some songs sound like they were recorded in a studio, but they actually were live performances. For example, Elvis singing Bridge Over Troubled Water had a crowd cheering at the end, even though it was recorded in a studio. This mix of studio and live recordings made the album feel special and different. Elvis worked with many songwriters for this album. Some songs were written especially for him, like Mary in the Morning by Johnny Cymbal. This song was about unmarried mothers, which was a brave topic at the time. Another song, The Next Step Is Love, was written by Paul Evans and had a classic Elvis ballad feel. The album also had songs with British connections, which was interesting because Elvis had a big following in the UK. Songs like Just Pretend and You Don't Have to Say You Love Me were given English lyrics and performed by Elvis, showing how much he loved performing songs from different places. However, not everything on the album worked perfectly. Some songs felt out of place, like I Was Born About 10,000 Years Ago, which was a mountain song turned into segments between other songs. It was like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Elvis also tried his hand at country songs, but some, like Snowbird, didn't quite fit his style. Despite these mix-ups, the album had some great moments. Elvis' version of You Don't Have to Say You Love Me was powerful, even if it couldn't match the original by Dusty Springfield. The album was a hit in both the US and Britain, with songs like I've Lost You and You Don't Have to Say You Love Me becoming popular. Another album, Elvis Country, came from these same sessions. It was a bit of a miss, with Elvis trying to fit into a country sound that wasn't quite him. But even with its flaws, it showed how versatile Elvis was as an artist. The album That's the Way It Is also included songs written by British composers like Jeff Stevens. While some of these songs didn't capture the magic of Jeff's other works, they still had their charm. Elvis had a unique way of making even simple songs sound special. Overall, That's the Way It Is was a mix of good and not so good moments. It showed Elvis' willingness to experiment and try new things, even if it didn't always work out as planned. The album remains a fascinating piece of Elvis' legacy, showing us a different side of the king.